When you think of high school, what are the typical stereotypes or cliques that come to mind? Well, you have your popular kids, your jocks and athletes that overlap with these popular kids, popular kid wannabes, smart kids, artists, theater kids, band kids, emos, and nerds. And this is typically what you see in movies, how a protagonist floats between all of these different groups, not having a home, before eventually finding their people by just being themselves. Or, like in the movie The Breakfast Club, a story of how a group of students, each one from a different clique, finds that they actually have something in common with each other, creating an unsuspecting bond. The point of The Breakfast Club is to demonstrate that deep down, each one of these students is actually quite similar, despite dressing differently or having completely different interests. Hi, my name is Lucian Enomoto, and as a senior here at Valencia High School, who has done 4 years of varsity sports and has performed in musical theater, I'm here to tell you that these two extracurriculars are actually quite similar. So, within our school's varsity softball program, we typically have practice 2 times a week and games 3 times a week. But depending on who we play in our schedule, sometimes this is reversed. So we have practices 3 times a week and games 2 times a week. The state of Wisconsin actually calculated the amount of calories burnt per 1 hour of physical activity for 3 different weight columns: 135 pounds, 155 pounds, and 190 pounds. A CDC study conducted from 2015 to 2018 also found that the average high school female weighs between 121 pounds to 155 pounds, encompassing freshmen to seniors. And so, using all this data, we find that varsity softball players burn about 295 calories to 352 in just 1 hour. So, in 1 week, they burn about 2,500 to 3,000 calories. And of course, these numbers are only estimates. One day, we can be on the track running as a team, and in this case, we would burn 470 calories, or we're on our field walking through situational drills, which require less movement but a lot more brain power. And so, transitioning to musical theater. Any theater production varies greatly. One can feature dramatic dialogues and soliloquies, like in Shakespeare, or it can be really dance-focused, like in the musical Michael Jackson, or it can really emphasize music, like in the Phantom of the Opera. Or it can be a combination of it all, my personal favorite, like in the musical Chicago. Last spring, Valencia's theater department put on its own production of The Trail to Oregon. It's a comedy that combines singing, acting, and dancing, and a really fun audience participation aspect. To prepare, we spent about 32 hours in rehearsals, and this excludes the amount of time spent during Tech Week and the actual performances. These 2 weeks came out to be about 35 hours. The state of Wisconsin calculated that about 266 to 317 calories are burned in just 1 hour of dancing. And we had about 8 hours of dance rehearsals. The London Singing Institute also calculated similar data, and they found that a person who sings and stands at the same time burns about 136 calories per hour. And so, altogether, the average high school student who started our production burned about 6,100 calories in just 1 show. And this comes out to about 2,000 calories a week. And this surprised me to find that this is only about 500 calories less than what a varsity athlete burns, which is easily compensated by a Starbucks drink. Aside from the physical aspects of both of these 2 extracurricular activities, the core concepts of musical theater and softball are actually quite similar. You put so much time and effort to create a final product that everyone will see. People you know and love, and people you don't even know will come and watch you and judge you based on your performance, whether it's on the field or on stage. It's also extremely difficult to do all alone. You obviously cannot win a softball game just by yourself. You need at least 8 other girls on the field by your side. And yes, technically, you can put on a 1-person show, but it would be extremely difficult to maintain control over your dialogue, lights, tech, and your audience's attention all at the same time. However, what you do learn from these two extracurricular activities, along with so many others, is ability to do well under pressure. When everyone's watching you and counting on you to do well, and when everyone's not. When you're done, sweaty and tired, and when you come home and you want nothing more to just take a shower and crawl into your bed, but then you're faced with a wall of homework, responsibility, and chores that you still have to get done. What it teaches you is to calm your heart and your head, but also at the same time to appreciate the exhilarating rush of adrenaline that you get from performing and doing well. It's definitely possible to do both of these extracurricular activities. You can time it right so that you participate in star in a production when it's your sports off season, or you can do it at the same time. Some of our main actors in the Trail to Oregon were actually varsity athletes whose seasons were going on at the exact same time. And of course, this was an extremely chaotic and busy time for them, and they were super, super tired. But when it was all done, they had another feather in their cap, more memories to look back on, and they walked away with amazing multitasking and time management skills. And so, at the end of the day, jocks and theater kids aren't so different. You burn relatively about the same amount of calories, and the core concepts of what you're working towards are the same. So, parents, it doesn't matter what extracurricular you want to throw your kids into in hopes that they earn a scholarship for college. Also, it doesn't matter what your kids want to pursue in their own time. What matters is that they enjoy learning new skills and meeting new people, but most importantly, that they have passion, a genuine passion and excitement for what they do. Thank you.